Hi, here's my Chysis in bloom. This is Chysis laevis. It's an albiform, which I didn't know it would be when I bought this orchid. But yeah, that's what happened. And I still like it. I actually had two bractenses and this one, and they looked almost identical. So I gave away the other one, and I left myself this one. I kept this one. And it's like really effortless orchid. It notice how far from the window it is, so it does not need bright light to bloom. It does not need anything to bloom. It just blooms when it starts new growth. See, when the new growth comes out, the spike comes out. And I grow it in bark, which almost totally eaten by roots. See, it has enormous roots there. So it's been doing pretty good for me. I used to grow it in a tank when I just received it, but then it grew too large. See, that's the previous bulb. It came out pretty large, so I didn't have really space in a tank to accommodate such large orchid. And I decided to try it here on the IKEA shelf, and it did not complain. See, I think it likes it just as much. Now a little update on my orchids. February update, which is happening in March. This is my Dendrobium lodigazii, and yeah, I put it in a tank because it started to grow. See, there's lots of new canes started, and I know that it really likes being in a tank, growing in a tank. And look how many buds I have. I counted 11 buds so far, and these are the old canes that were blooming last year, and I thought they won't do anything this year, but look, there's something there. It's probably cakey, but still there's life in those old bulbs, which is pretty cool. This is so far my favorite Dendrobium lodigazii. It will have nice display when all the buds will open. And I think it doesn't take too long to develop those buds, so the flowers should be soon. And then my sinensis still blooming. This has really long-lasting blooms. I just wish it would grow larger and have more than one bloom at a time. And look at this crazy plant. This is Dendrobium tubaense, and it bloomed here. It bloomed there. Now it's blooming here, and on the top something grows too, like a bud. So it's been in bloom since November, and see, it continues. So it's really great, and at the same time it's growing this new cane. It's a really productive plant. If you can get it, get it. It's really cool. Dendrobium tubaense. And then I have a bud on Graecum didiri, which is going to be the third blooming in less than a year. So that is amazing. It's doing really good in my tank. So it's blooming third time. That's crazy. Really like it. And here's the newly acquired Dendrobium unicum that I bought in the fall. I think it was fall or end of summer last year. And yeah, at first I thought I was gonna lose it because it started this new growth and then it aborted it and wilted, and it was like totally lifeless for a while. But now as spring started, see, I have bud, then I think I have keiki there, and there's a new growth growing there. So it's back to life, and interesting that it produced the buds without being in a cold rest. It was here in a tank and I was watering it. So I don't know, does it mean that it does not really need dry rest, or but yeah, I'll try to keep it just in a tank and see what's gonna happen next year. And for now, I'll just enjoy these blooms when they open. So that's Dendrobium unicum, a new plant. It's still stranger for me, but it seems to like being potted into straight coconut husks. See? All my dendrobiums like it. Yeah, I have Hoya fictii trying to bloom. I don't know if sometimes they produce the buds and then drop them, but this one seemed to be progressing well. So maybe soon we'll see the blooms. And this one, it's never bloomed before, so it'll be first blooming for me. And all Hoyas actually are doing great. See, they're growing like crazy, all those lines. I think they like my thing. So that this one, the fictii, will be interesting to see when it blooms. And then my phalaenopsis, they're pretty much all the time in blooms. At least one is blooming. That's why I have them here. It's nice to have them. They provide some color and fragrance. It's nice in a tank. And that's my phalaenopsis. I call it snake skin because it looks like snake skin. The texture of the blooms. It's growing a bud, and it used to have a big keiki, which I separated. That keiki is going to rest itself. And all my plant is just this, nice and healthy with the spike. Now, as the spring starting, I started repotting my plants. So I repotted all my slippers, lady slippers, and they're doing great. They're growing. That's a Hashimin, that's Alice Handelbauer. Hopefully this new growth will bloom. They're growing pretty fast, actually. I like it. And this is my Stenhopia cannata, which, well, it's a rescue. I managed to rot both Stenhopias that I have, and this little piece is the leftover of cannata. But look, it produced me this new growth, which is good. So it's gonna be out of the woods pretty soon, and then I will need bigger net pot. But for now, it's right there. This net pot is hanging inside of this cash pot. And the roots are pretty good there. So I think it's recovering well. It didn't even lose those leaves. Now I wanted to do a little update on the lights that I have here down below. If anybody following me, I purchased those lights just to utilize these bottom shelves where the light from the window doesn't really reach. And yeah, there are plants that like it. Look, my cattleyas are actively growing. This is the Stalis. It's growing 2 new bulbs. This is forgot. What's this? Oh, sea breeze. This is sea breeze. So it's started new growth. Now this is my leftover of Zygopetalum. Look, it's growing something new, which is really good. This is white bridal, which was almost totally eaten by mealybugs, but it's coming back nicely. See, this growth is not very nice one because it was all covered by mealybugs, and I sprayed it with all kinds of stuff, which probably damaged the plant. But now there's a few new points of growth happening. So it seems like cattleyas like this light, and I'm gonna continue to keep them here and see if they will bloom. If this new growth will bloom under these lights, that would be awesome. And this is the other side, and here I have well, mostly Oncidiums, meaning not Oncidiums, but Miltoniopsis, which did not like to be in my tank for some reason. They were rotting there really badly. But here, they are happy and growing, which is amazing. And I also have Bulbophyllum ambrosia, which is growing well under this light. And I just recently put here my Rangus biloba, just to see maybe the light will encourage the spike, because it hasn't bloomed for me for a long while, for years, although it grew really big. So I removed, there are 2 plants and 1 mound, so I separated them into pots, and now I'm experimenting with one under these lights just to see if it'll bloom here. So we'll see. And yeah, there are Tolunias too that are really happy. So these lights are working for some plants for now, but we'll see if any of them will bloom there. Now this is my poor Vanda Rachildiana, which has this problem on the leaves. See the yellow leaves. I separated it from the other Vandas because I don't know what it is, right? So it's basically in quarantine here. It gets plenty of light from the tank and continues to grow this spike. And I'm giving it Epsom salt baths. Like, I don't know how to, I don't know pretty much what else I can do. I do it calcium, magnesium. I give it Epsom salt bath. But yeah, it doesn't seem to progress, but it doesn't go away either. Yeah, I lost many leaves here. They were just yellowing and dropping. So we'll see if it stopped or not. It's not out of the woods yet, but it probably slowed down a little bit, and yeah, there will be flowers. And I left the best news for last. Remember my Vanda denisoniana? Well, it started second spike. See on the right? Now there are 2 spikes growing. That is very exciting. 2 spikes. And remember my Vanda tricolor? This huge Vanda that I grow from seedling, and I waited 9 years for the first blooming. Well, there is now a spike growing too. So tricolor can bloom twice a year because it just bloomed in the fall. It hasn't been a year yet since last blooming, and it has a spike again. How cool is that? Tricolor, it's probably my favorite Vanda. Well, I'll see how denisoniana blooms, but this one, so far, I like this one the best, tricolor. So that was my orchids update for February, with the main feature, my Chysis. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.